Hey Wolfpack, it's Milkshake Mate here, and today's video is a big one. We got confirmation of a story we were ahead of from the very beginning. Evernorth Holdings, the mystery name behind that $1 billion XRP accumulation, is now officially revealed, verified, and planning to go public on the Nasdaq. This could be the largest single institutional XRP acquisition in history, and it's something we here at the Wolfpack spotted before the headlines even broke. Now, before we dive into all the data, let's rewind for a second. Last week, we talked about the rumour, an anonymous institutional buyer snapping up hundreds of millions of XRP tokens. At that time, nobody knew who it was, and mainstream media hadn't connected the dots yet. We told you on this channel that it looked like an institutional scale accumulation, not a random whale move. Well, fast forward a few days, and guess what? Those whispers we covered turned out to be true. The buyer has now been confirmed as Evernorth Holdings, and what was rumour just became reality, backed by on-chain data, press releases, and a Nasdaq listing plan. So if you were here for the first video, you saw it before everybody else. And that's exactly why being part of the Wolfpack matters. We spot these moves before the herd. Here's the confirmed story. Evernorth Holdings, a newly formed corporate vehicle backed by Ripple-linked investors, has accumulated roughly 388.7 million XRP tokens, valued just over $1 billion as of today's prices. They've also announced a merger with Armada Acquisitions Corp, a SPAC deal that will see Evernorth listed on the Nasdaq under the ticker XRPN. This isn't just another crypto fund buying a few million tokens. This is a structured, regulated, institutional treasury designed entirely around XRP. In their filings, they confirmed they'll use the capital raised to build out XRP holdings, provide liquidity, and participate in yield-generating programs on the XRPL network. So who exactly are they? Evernorth's leadership includes Ashish Birla, formerly of Ripple Labs, a huge name in the ecosystem. They're backed by heavyweights like SBI Holdings, long-time Ripple partners out of Japan. Their mission is to make XRP the world's first corporate treasury-graded digital asset. They're combining traditional finance tools, IPO, compliance, audited financials with blockchain exposure. Think of it as a micro-strategy model, but natively around XRP instead of Bitcoin. They raise through Wall Street, buy XRP on-chain, report holdings publicly, and give investors exposure through equity instead of crypto wallets. They're a bridge between traditional markets and crypto, and it's exactly the kind of infrastructure XRP has been missing. And if you've been a long-time watcher of me, I've used this exact example. I've mentioned people like my dad. He likes stocks and shares. He's invested in stocks and shares his whole life, but there is no way on this planet he would ever go and buy XRP and put it in a wallet. He's just too old school. And this is exactly what this mission is designed to do, is to bring the old school in line with the new school through the back door, and they won't even realize it. Now, let's talk impact. When a corporate entity buys nearly 400 million XRP, that's not retail noise, that's a structural shift. First of all, you've got the supply squeeze. $1 billion buy means fewer tokens floating around exchanges. Less supply plus steady demand equals upwards pressure over time. Number two is institutional validation. This marks a turning point for XRP's credibility. After years of regulatory fights, having a Nasdaq-listed vehicle centered on XRP screams legitimacy. And number three is investor access. Not every institution can custody crypto, but they can hold stock. XRPN shares make XRP exposure as easy as buying Apple or Tesla. Number four is reflective momentum. If the model works, more funds raised, more buying happens, and the cycle feeds itself. We've seen this exact micro-strategy before with Bitcoin. Number five is ecosystem growth. This kind of move attracts liquidity, developers, and new partnerships around the XRP ledger. And for us traders, it creates both volatility and opportunity. Now, before anybody apes in, let's stay realistic. The Wolfpack trades smart. There are still risks. If XRP's price dips below their average buy of $2.44, paper losses could mount fast. And concentrating that 388 million tokens in one corporate treasury reduces float. But if they ever sell, that's a heavy pressure on price. Then you've got the DeFi risk. They plan to deploy XRP onto lending and yield programs. Those come with smart contracts and counterparty risk. If markets view this as hype rather than innovation, sentiment can flip fast. So yes, it's bullish, but only for disciplined traders who understand timing, structure, and risk management. Here are the hard numbers we track. 388.7 million XRP has been accumulated, valued just over $1 billion US. Their average entry price is roughly $2.44 per token, and their near-term resistance, in my opinion, is going to be around $2.70. And their local support, $2.50. Those are your battle lines that they've now drawn. If price stays above $2.44 average, Evernorth sits comfortably in profit. And big money tends to defend its entry zones. Break above $2.70 and we could see momentum push towards $3.50 or even higher. But if we drop below that $2.44, we may test deeper support. From a trading perspective, this story creates reference levels we can actually build strategies around. So this is how I think we should approach it. Medium-term holders, treat this as validation. You've got an institutional ally now. Hold your court, manage your DCA zones, and watch that $2.44 level like an absolute hawk. If you're a short-term trader, use breakouts and retests around that $2.50 to $2.70. If volume spikes with Evernorth's headlines, momentum trades can be very profitable. And if you're a bot user or a strategy, you can incorporate this macro context. When institutional accumulation enters the narrative, it strengthens the bullish bias. But keep your guardrails on. As always, for us, TP1 at 30 or maybe even 50%, and move your stop to break even afterwards. Never risk more than you can lose. This news adds fuel, but it doesn't replace discipline. And here's a list of things that you need to keep on your radar over the next few weeks. There is something called the SPAC vote and the SEC filings for the Nasdaq listings. Once that's approved, expect major publicity wave. Number 2, any online transfer tied to Evernorth wallets, if accumulation continues, is bullish confirmation. Number 3, public disclosures of treasury policy. They may reveal exactly how many XRP per XRPN share is going to be worth. Number 4 is the regulatory environment. Further clarity for XRP strengthens this entire thing. And number 5, partnership announcements. If they expand into lending, DeFi, or payment rails, watch price react fast. Our community will be looking out for these triggers, and the moment they hit, we will discuss it live. Now, let's map out the possibilities. Scenario A, we have a breakout. The price clears $2.70 with volume, confirms SPAC is a success, and then the target zones then are $3.50 to even $4. Scenario B is a range play. Consolidation somewhere between $2.44 and $2.70. Accumulation is ongoing. That's great for swing trading or DCA entries. And scenario C is a complete breakdown. Price drops below that $2.44. The narrative cools. We can re-enter lower after the accumulation signals. Whatever happens, keep emotions out of this. Remember, institutional moves don't play out overnight. They unfold in phases. Our advantage is preparation, not prediction. This isn't just about XRP. It's a glimpse into the future of crypto adoption. Evernorth bridges equities and blockchain, traditional finance buying digital assets under a regulated wrapper. If it succeeds, we'll see similar models for ETH, Cardano, maybe even SHIB. It also pressures regulators to clarify the rules because now Wall Street is directly touching tokens. We need that clarity. And it reignites the old conversation. Is XRP the institutional settlement layer crypto was waiting for? With a Nasdaq listing, that question might get answered sooner than anybody has been expecting. So here's the plan for the Wolfpack. Mark $2.44 and $2.70 zones on your TradingView charts. Follow the chain alerts for large XRP wallet activities. Watch Evernorth SPAC filings. We'll post updates in the group the moment they drop. Stay diversified. Use proper position sizing and keep emotions out of your trades. We've got data now, not rumors. But remember, the reason we stay ahead is because we research early and verify fast. That is the Wolfpack edge. So, guys, if you were here when we broke this story as a rumor, you've just witnessed it come full circle. Drop me a comment down below if you were part of that early call inside that video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and tap that bell button. We're tracking every major institutional move in crypto. You don't want to miss what's coming next. And if you want to go deeper, you can join us inside the Crypto Wolfpack. There's a link in the description, and also you can find it at milkshakematty.com. Just click on the Crypto Wolfpack. Inside there, you're going to get full strategies, live streams, and the data tools we actually trade with. Before we wrap, I just want to say, this is why we do what we do. When we broke the Evernorth story early, it was just a rumor. Now it's confirmed, and the mainstream is only just catching up. That's what makes the Wolfpack special. We don't chase headlines. We try to predict them. Stay smart, stay patient, as always. Trade with purpose, not emotion. I'll see you on the next one. And remember this, the strength of the wolf is in the pack. I am not a financial advisor. This video is based solely on my opinion on what I am personally doing in this market. I also want to let you know that some of the links below and in the descriptions are affiliate links, meaning I may get a commission, but it will be at no extra cost to you. Please remember that under no circumstances will I ever contact you and ask you for investments. You can confirm all of my real social media handles in the description and also at milkshakematty.com. This content is for educational and entertainment only, and I am not a financial advisor.